Rachel and I started our story 2.5 years ago, right around well, before we actually started dating. She actually had heard about my dance lessons through another mutual friend, and was on a first date with another guy, and they wanted a private lesson.
I thought it was a really great class, and he taught really well from the ground up.
After I gave Rachel and her date at the time that initial first lesson, I had offered to people, hey, there's a West Coast Swing event happening down in Boise this weekend. Anybody who wants to show up can come with me. I'll carpool, I'll handle costs and everything. And then I reached out to Rachel and said, hey, I am getting diminishing response from people. I don't know if you want to come with. The offer's still open. I just met you, so I could be an axe murderer.
And I thought, yeah, that would be kind of strange, but let's do it anyways. So we went on this trip to Boise with this person who I thought could potentially be an axe murderer, but could also be just a really nice guy. So it was just Brendan and I going on this trip.
The moment that we got in the car, Rachel was very forthcoming, very, very eager to share, and be very, had a lot to say.
I kind of just threw everything about myself onto him, so I just told him my whole life story. No filter.
And I just kind of sat back. I drove, and I was listening, and this was a very tumultuous time period for her. There were a lot of things going on.
He even pulled over a couple times to give me a hug, and
she was crying, and it wasn't cute cry, it was ugly cry.
I felt really safe there and comfortable telling him everything about myself.
We finally get down to Boise. We are able to meet the people who are hosting us, who are the people who organized the scene down there, and spend some good time with them.
We played some retro video games, we ate tacos, and we talked about dance, which all went over my head completely.
And then Rachel, and I are obviously sleeping in the real living room.
Our hosts were kind of like, hey, what do you want to, where do you guys want to sleep? We don't know if you're partners or if you're what's going on here. And we're kind of looking at each other like, we don't know what's going on either.
Wind down for the night, people go off, and Rachel and I are talking for a little bit longer, and they're like, okay, we should finally go to bed. And then Rachel was like, night, and I said goodnight, and we nuzzled in for a little bit. I'm like, hey Rachel, and she's like, what? You want to cuddle?
And I said yes. So those are his slick moves, and that's how it kind of started. So.
And then that kind of was the start of it.
We basically were inseparable that whole weekend. We hung out the whole time, danced, went out to eat, and he held my hand for the first time. And then once we got back to Moscow, that's when he asked me if we wanted to go on our first date.
As I got to know Rachel, in the first 3, 4, 5 months, we really knew we were really compatible for each other, right?
He really impressed me every time we hung out, and after I think about a year of just seeing how consistent it was, I really felt like it was the right fit.
As I started to ask myself the question more and more, is this person that I want to spend the rest of my life with? I get to the point where I just say, yeah, I think this is somebody.
I think that was when I really made the decision that no, this is for sure going to happen. We will make a future with each other.
One of my fraternity brothers is actually engaged. And so I had him con up a fake wedding invite.
I thought we were going to a wedding. There was an invite, there was a website. It was just so well thought out. I never thought for a second that it wasn't actually happening. It was gonna be over on the Oregon coast. We were gonna go to a beach and they were gonna get married there. And then we came across the entrance to where we're supposed to go to the beach, and it's a 2.5-mile hike. I asked him, hey, did they say anything in their invite about bringing hiking shoes? Because those poor ladies in their heels, they're gonna break an ankle. We're making our way down, and I've got my heels in my hand, and people are coming up the trail asking if we're okay. I'm like, yeah, we're fine. And Brendan's saying, oh, we're just going to a wedding. And we're down at the beach. Starts walking up to this blanket and says, hey, I think this is it. This must be where they're gonna, do the whole ceremony. And I'm like, no, there's nobody here. They're not here. We need to go. This is not the right beach. Eventually, just, boo, what are you doing? You can't just go up to random people's stuff. And I'm just having none of it. I'm like, nope, someone's gonna get mad at us. I start walking away from him. So then I turn around and there he is on one knee.